Hello, everyone. I'm Barry Stagner, and this is his channel Newsbreak. The Diocese of Västerås, a division of the Church of Sweden, is now giving away an LGBTQ guide for Christian queer kids. Bible-believing Christians may be stunned to hear that this extreme guide describes Jesus as queer and Joseph as transvestite. No, this isn't just some radical college course about the Bible. This is coming from the actual Church of Sweden. The church, which identifies itself as Protestant, has created what it calls a survival guide for LGBTQ youth. A Swedish news site, Nya Dagbladet, states the church's guide contains definitions and concepts, a bit about the Bible and LGBTQ, as well as Bible stories that it claims are related to the LGBTQ people. The guide goes on to contradict Scripture by stating the Bible is actually not against homosexuality, implying Scriptures dealing with it are actually about exploitation and rape. The guide also includes definitions for leftist sexual terms such as cisperson, gender fluid, non-binary, queer, two-sex norm, rainbow affairs, and more. It states Jesus' mother, Mary, dared to break traditional sex norms in a patriarchal society. And the Bible character of Joseph is described as a person who breaks the norms in terms of gender expression and probably went in a suit intended for a king's daughter. Jesus is described as someone who broke the norm, calling him queer for the way he lived his life. Also, the guide states he did not defend the traditional family. This is part of a growing support for LGBTQ values within left-leaning segments of the church. Different denominations have battled internally with approving gay clergy, and news sites recently report on the Revoice Conference in the U.S. where Catholic and Protestants came together to condemn Christian versions of heteronormativity and demanded Christians to subvert straight privilege when it causes difficulties for gays. 3 churches filed a notice of appeal Thursday in a lawsuit challenging the California Department of Managed Healthcare's mandate that forces churches to pay for elective abortions in their health insurance plans. As revealed in emails that Alliance Defending Freedom attorneys who represent the churches discovered, the agency issued its mandate in response from specific demands from Planned Parenthood. Those demands ask agency officials to implement a fix requiring the health plans of religious organizations to include coverage for abortion, regardless of moral or conscientious objections, and despite state recognition up to that point that religious groups shouldn't be subject to such requirements. The abortion giant threatened to promote its own legislative solution if the administrative agency didn't act. So, DMHC issued its mandate in 2014. The government shouldn't be forcing churches to pay for abortion, and it is shameful and inappropriate that the government did so, in this case at the bidding of Planned Parenthood, said ADF legal counsel Jeremiah Galis. California officials are required to follow the law and legal precedent, not the dictates of groups that have an axe to grind against religious organizations that don't share their views on abortion. We are asking the Ninth Circuit to strike down this obviously unconstitutional mandate. No state agency anywhere has the right to demand that church health insurance plans contain this kind of coverage, which clearly violates these churches' most sincerely held religious beliefs. Well, again, as we know, as things will be as they were in the last days, we know of Noah's time, that is, that the thoughts and intents of man's heart was only evil continually, just as we see in our last story, giving us today's reminder to keep looking up.